controversy ni bebree de kura mi e cocktail de say ye wa hodo bebree wo ho enti nya bi na beboa sanso and this way chocolate drink and then a coffee drink this way de bi anamika me mama bi a or whatever I say ajwa mi enso nasa ai enso nasa na je say this way nasa nti kasha Kwabena so mre me bi enti this way de eye papa no bia no pe na beboa wo ane ye woni fufuo sesi ye ni di cheko ni aduane ma ye pa ye cheko this time no be di fufuo ma wa fere tre bien na so en now so need fufuo da romanti se ben na fufuo ready udi so nyina ho nche e ma ho nye cheko digesting tem na ne pedua na nya hoden na bekwa na de ya be nya ba anu so nye style bi no da bi we de anu so de papa ko mo boye na no pay na best point at that romanti yesi kasam atumi agina afa no achi me ka usa no pe bo modern sound sabetumi ka Dominion herbal powder de me di ho danse se eye duro preko pe ama ni pedua ni nya hoden preko pe na boa ma nipa ho sisi no so preko pe Dominion herbal powder yi de abaye ne se be kwa kotobi of pharmacy shop drugstore herbal shop because open Dominion herbal powder na one nso hye cup ketwa tea cup no baako na nso na hye na wasa teaspoon enye de yedide mu teaspoon baako na de gum na waka no mu na wanom anopa ansa na wadidi wonom na anopa ansa na wadidi anwumre nso wadidi wie na okoda no na wanom no mo to aso na wotwe mienu pe na behu difference nsesaya a ebebo nipa duane mu wachi bremu na ewe ya utumi na me mitumi na o yare pano aduro Dominion herbal powder beboa wo sanso ena yare wa ahye wo ho ache nyina no Dominion herbal powder da romanti ho beto pebito na so pebiatu so dia amanfo won kokko enfre 0543 158195 0543 158195 nti kokko ne potamu no kwa area ho ne ha mode no na ya also ya wankran ha no ya 0249 591 843 0249 591 843 kuma so for media mu ho ya 0248 63 23 28 0248 63 23 28 misraw so unya mfedu mienu a menom oba pemfo menom oba makodanufo nso oso misraw pa menom why me da say Vodafone some can show say with just 5 Ghana cedis no ubenya 200 minutes now no adofo akasa mubedi komo bebre with just 5 Ghana cedis Vodafone say aho kire wo ho the sense odwene me no mienu nyina ho nti no men konkoto network a auto credit go so afon na asa no omo ni package pa ba bi amfa ma wo no Vodafone say hey o ma ba de ama yanyina se wo bie se woni bie Vodafone abama network no say papa sesi e ka say ba ku bi wo frɛ a wugina no say adum egu nkrofo ware egu nkrofo business Vodafone say ono de onte sa utwa tum na na ekɔ say dum a na yampa say dum ampa until just 5 Ghana cedis no Vodafone so benya 200 minutes ubekasa all network for 7 solid days na wotwe mu a na de abeya ne say obedale *110 hash *110 na fe we follow process no eno ano no sa na say obekoma Vodafone app no so na wotumi akwakoto bi na woni Vodafone cash bundles ada romanso just boa papa Vodafone de o say ye wo homa obibia afa ye ne ba kwa ha adwene pa ye nompem yare ha adwene papa obi a wanya kwanhia bi da obi a oboboda obi a otehwe ibiri bi abesenko ema officer no wato no so still na obi a na chi bremu o down na arthritis wo wanu bibia nye yogene ho anye nompem yare bi nya woda obeka se ya enti misrew for ni kire ba heba hospital da sa nompem yare anu ntiatete wo yo ho bibia nye yi no ebekọ ebetum ka say baba say ba Ba Herbal Hospital okuma se ene nkran ha na se men kan kyerɛ sɛ okukuma se a atonso ago hospital na chi pɛ ɛhɔ ɛna Ba Herbal Hospital ɛwɔ ɛna afei nkran ha nso no ɔmo ɛwɔ Sprintex 18 junction hɔ pɛ Sprintex 18 junction hɔ pɛ hɔ ɛna Ba Herbal Hospital ɛwɔ nti kɔ do mpɛmu yare biara no ma me da fie ne do mpɛnti ntumi nya no ho hwɛ wankasa kɔ na be di ho adanse akyire and as from so 0244 988004 0244 988004 and after 0244 0244 083482 0244 083482 achamfo ba na osanyar wanyina bedwane se ba wo ma dawro ma na dwumedi anope yede brewo ewie as it is say the city and wachi na bedwafo atenase getie nie aye taka se si ni pansa hwe yataka se ni panche ne wadi amia Yesu Kristo yade bi na nade no ye no asese ye nyina etumi suase ye se ye Kristofo nko ade a ese etumi sia eno ne ahobrase ene ne tumi ye de be ma ye a notwithstanding the tumi ye wo no ye be bre ho ase Yesu no tumi che obi biara ebra no wasase so Yesuafo no omudi Yesu achinti no bia akonkon obi apese obehohuru ne nua na ase ede ama no Yesu na tumi kura no a ono no yom kanifo aye kyerɛkyerɛfo no ɛfa bo ɛde so gumu ɛde tawbo mu ɛpepa na suafo ɛhyɛ na ase ne na ase ɛde ma no obepom nyina na ase ma wo mu suafo ɛhyɛ na ase no ono yepani no sanko bɛka ne na agu so anka na mire mu a tango Christ yekukuru de bre na so na pepa no toothpick I said de bre no na so Yesu pepa ne suafo ne na ase ma wo ade kyerɛ sɛ ahobrase owe ɛyɛ na se ma otumi nso ha mema tumi ni enidi wutirim mema tumi no enidi wutirim e ma wo nya ho sɛ you are more human than wɔn aka no da bi ɛnyɛ saa kɔgya twebo nyom bi ɔsɛ onipa be yara no de be ye bia yɛ nkyem boda ɛyɛ mpanso mumie hwɛ video bi atorenkyem a ato nipa ɛwɔ Libya as we speak nipa more than 30,000 ɛna ɛwɔ Libya nipa more than 30,000 ɛna ɛwɔ ɛyɛ mpoano video no na ɛwɔ hɔ no ɛyɛ kura baby ɛyɛ hwɛ nyina nipa na ti ho aha nyina nipa ɛna tie ɛyɛ Libya ha ya hwɛ nipa na gu kwan ho a ya hyehyɛ nipa no wahu se ne ayɛ no nipa na gu pavement so a wahu nipa na gu pavement so na niema hwɛ cars sɛdeɛ wo de hwɛ video no hwɛ krom mu a niema wo mu sika wo mu nipa wo mu nyina corona enso ayɛ ne saa no corona na wo hu no saa baby a yɛ hwɛ asikafo wɔ hɔ wɔn a wɔtumi wɔ hɔ adefo wɔ hɔ ɛnɛ wɔn mu nyina ni hɔ ɔmagya pade ne nyina nso eni hɔ wɔn a wɔtumi wɔ hɔ na so na me no kasa yi tumi ne nyina akyi no ɔmo da pavement so ɛna yɛde blanket ɛna cover wɔn ho ɛna me no kasa yi ɛmoa aman ahodoɔ de ɛma wɔn no ɛnyɛ aduane nneɛma o aduane nneɛma ka ho nanso rɔba yɛde nipa funu bɛhyɛm ɛka ho ɛno ɛna yɛde kwakɔma wɔn a na nwene da sɛ wɔbɛtumi ato wɔn nanso ato Libiafoɔ a nipa baburu mpem aduasa 30,000 ɛna sɛ ɛkasa yi wɔn awuo ebinom gu nsuo ma yɛhwehwɛ wɔn na sɛ dɔm kyerɛ no yɛ nipa na wɔn dɔso wɔn nyinaa kɔ all of them wɔn nyinaa wu nti nipa yɛ gyina hɔ yi wɔn hwɛ sɛ bia nipa bibi mbɛhu efunu bi a no akɔkɔ yi wɔn nyinaa kɔ wɔn nyinaa enti sɛ wɔ tumi a hwɛ biribi na hunu sɛ wɔnkyɛn boɔ da biribi abɛtumi ato abere bia enti brɛ ho ase enti brɛ ho ase gyae gaegae no gyae ahomasoɔ no na gya tumi a wɔnyɛ nti wopɛ sɛ woma obiara bɔ obiara bɔ mfia no hwɛ nipa ne yɛkuku wahu mmɔbɔ kɛkɛ wokɔ Morocco asase wosoɔ ɛho so asi wopɛ sɛ obiara kɔtɔkɔtɔ me sɛ gyae na wonyɛ obiara gyae metumi tena TV na mehwɛ ni me na me werɛ aho ɛsiane sɛ ebia Ghana ni bi ka ho ɛyɛ mpoano asase woso ne si wɔ nsuo mu no ɛna abɛhohoro nipa kɔ saa no sikafo hɔ nyinaa wɔn wɔ wetumi a wɔn yɛ area gangarees nyinaa nso de wɔn kɔ asase woso ma da adwere gu wɔn so wɔn nyinaa gu wɔn nan nwene sɛ asɛm yi bɛto wɔn ɛnwom bi ɔsɛ sɛ sɛ ɛdɔn no frɛ wo a ahoboa bɛn na wayɛ na konta bɛn ɛna wokɔ akɔbu tumi yɛ ahodoɔ mmienu tumi ɛyɛ ahodoɔ mmienu yɛ Onyankopɔn tumi ɛne ɔbonsam tumi Nyankopɔn tumi ɛma nipa ho henhan no Nyankopɔn tumi ɛde nipa ɛbɛ nipa brabɔ so Nyankopɔn tumi ehunu nipa sɛ ɛyɛ abɔde ɛsombo nti wonyɛ bibi ma nipa no ho nkyere no ɛyɛ Nyankopɔn tumi no Nyankopɔn tumi boa ɛma nipa ho henhan no Nyankopɔn tumi ɛnhyɛ nipa so Nyankopɔn tumi ɛntiti nipa de tumi so nti kan so wɔ tumi na tumi na awɔ no wo ba nipa ho henhan na ɛmfiri Nyankopɔn utumi na awɔ no wo de hyɛ nipa so a ɛmfiri Nyankopɔn utumi na awɔ no sɛ wo de yɛ nneɛma a ɛyɛ ɔpɛ sɛ menkum nya wo nko na wodwene ho a ɛmfiri Nyankopɔn ɛyɛ bonsam tumi ɔbonsam nko na ne tumi no ɛyɛ pɛ sɛ menkum nya de ɔpɛ no ɛna ɔde yɛ nti sɛ yɛ kristofoɔ na sɛ yɛ muslimifo me kristoni ta me ka kristofoɔ no menim sɛ Islam nso ɔmo so bɔdwene ade korɔ no a nti sɛ wo tumi a me ka kyerɛ no pɛ sɛ ma tumi no reflect positively ɛwɔ nipa brabɔ so ɛsan sɛ wo nko a na dom bi nti yɛde tumi na ma yɛnim sɛ yɛde tumi ne ma wo a obetumi aboa ama nipa ho atɔ no nti ne yɛde ma wo na mo kan sɛ wo tumi ne yɛde ma no wafa nya de bɛma nipa ho hehan no na de hyɛ nipa na ma nipa sugu ne mu a ɛda bi bedu akonta bi bɛba na wotwe mu time you account for everything a wodo tumi no ɛyɛyɛ meda mo ase anopɛ ma mo nyina akyi bio yɛtwɛn ho aba ɛba a abadwafo bɛba na afei nkɔmmɔ bi wɔ hɔ no yɛdi ɛne yɛbɛkasa limited registration yɛbɛka ho asɛm yɛde nsamankrataa ɛkɔkɔma yisi ɔmo kɔ a yɛsi mpene ma ɔmo mfa nsamankrataa no ɛnkɔ nso ɛnɛ deɛ yɛnya ne nteɛ sɛ nnura yisi alɔyafoɔ sɛ ɔmo fa nkrataa dɛm na den ti na ɔmo delay yɛ yɛbɛdi ho nkɔmmɔ na afei yɛahwɛ tape yi a abɛyi ɛho nsɛmsɛm yɛbɛdi ho nkɔmmɔ na afei kokooboɔ wato so wanto so yie mato so ama n'aboro so ebi nsi da ebi asi da sika wɔ hɔ sika ni hɔ ɛno so ebi di ho nkɔmmɔ abadwafoɔ bɛbɛ nkyɛ bi nti montwɛn yɛ ne yɛn nkɔmmra. Awi adesima ma da mo ase abadwafo aba fi ha ye ma entiene yebedi enkomo nansa na no owura mako jan wo art center oti play mu ekwa amanone ene reference ni papa ka baby ti so besi ana so beto aso oko enti owura mako jan awo art center sabra kase woni Ghana e ma hye den papa makonta no enti oyere mata ene bushafo ni nyina ma mu nyina hye den pa yakopon ya dom na sabre no so a ebeba na ya beta wachi ni ayama na efe sanso na no pay me din chia kase emma me ma me maako na pa bia obi a me mo achi me chia papa ma feel nso enche meba ma besawo sanso na antipina man me de ma no na akosra no antipina man me de ma no na besra ma me meba wate udi nyabotre me board the MPC ni ne de apoto no me ba be ye ho adwuma pa why enche me ba ewie ena no pay abedwafo abeka mensa e wo fie ha na ye be hyaase abobo ye nkomo no eye me benkum super eye ora adip sani oye pani a ye ka bambo mu nsem a wabin e wo mu yi papa nti se wa yensa kanu a na eye yebedi nkomo afa de ekoso we leak tape yi ene ehon nsem na yahwe ni security implication ewo oman no so na yahwe de ekoso o neighboring countries yi na yebisi am say internal security no with this kind of name ekoko okoso yi no is it not going to affect our internal security one way or the other na personnel no so security personnel no so omo so ahokeka be no mo de be ye adwuma no ebi de yam hyehye ebi de say ne de begu angu huhum eno ebeba ni nyina ebedi ho enkomo sanso ena me benkum so akiri pe His Excellency Sampiale NDC executive forum no wono ene pani a woda no ono so aboa dwumadie memene de bia obeboa yen ena feminifa so Alfred Koju Thompson enkane na ono ye managing director Edema National Investment Bank NIB ono so ewa ha obekasa ede ama NPP ama yuko no enti sabre de me babedwafo nyina akwa ba yenia bibi aboko ma ufugu de ono kwa ni fugu kala fugu ya unique
za we na a gift o
sa ene ka so ni pa so be gift mi bi
sa
o gift wa
o pa meet me ayi
there do you see there hardware e body no nse da match nim Your Excellency bibi aboko
oh ya me nado
de radiase
kopolo radiase
okay yehwe sani ma mission sem famfiri so na yehwe eye tape yi ne ho ensem se wadi akiri a bepem sabra ye kasai ebre ba ye witnesses call ye ka bi no bedwa mu bi ehunu de ekoso e ma ye hu yehwe TV so ebi so ye kan kukuam na wan kukuam de na ise de obi adwunu de na hyewo bibi hyewo de na hyewo in general no wo hwe de sie se na tape na ba bonten ene niema ekoso na effect ben me pese e fa no that aspect in effect ben na ebenya awo internal security so and the personnel ankasa aye police for no from the highest rank to the junior staff no yehwe ni mienu no
you me that say the edika maminchamu production team any movie west minara ampa tape no the first time appear I think there was an attempt to rubbish it to say oh wait there and yet necessary move on but na ewo nsinso bebree ma ye ban bosem ewo oman Ghana ha because ebimu ka assembly ewo the potential of undermining democracy kabi then surely it's a cause for concern almost see IGP no on board there's the need for him to go and that politics they're mafia, you know, and onu betumi aye IGP. So Mikai, Honorable Minister for the Interior, by our CEO, they be waiting, I mean, you know, or rubbish, you know, like let's move on. But considering so I think Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Apin Bagman, or constitute parliamentary ad hoc committee, you know, so that omobeye fact finding shishum into sa assembly. Baonim, Kwabena.
Yes, sir.
From day one, meaning say sa committee Juma way is going to unearth many new issues with respect to the police service, because me there be many a police for yakasa. And omuo complaints be brave about and questions no be brave omo bisa IGP almost see issues of unilateralism or taking decisions without recourse to the process about Dampari boys or Muka assembly about police intelligence division PIDB. Almost I think they are in charge of intelligence gathering or decentralizing. Omuka, the issue of almighty promotions. Almost see deserving officers almost need favor with the IGP they've not been promoted. As a result, there were about 80 police for almost Siri Ghana Police Service. So currently case no court. So me say assembly is going to bring up a lot more issues. And so committee level no, I think the ECOSO. However, from nowhere, almost see interdiction of officers, 3 officers. Now see they be a wrong timing. Even though fine, Morano, you know, we call police service regulation, CI, is it CI 76? No. Section 105 from 1 to 3, very categorical. Into any act of misconduct. You stand aside so that won't interfere in that process. No, but I felt at that point say to me amounted to witness tampering because Parliament still so why would you seek to undermine in that fashion? Because the possibility say to me create some sense of apprehension and would discourage people from cooperating with the committee. And the following day, no, yet say or suspended. No, but interdiction either say Uber lifting and Uber Jaino because COP George Alex Mensah or call retirement. I think this month. So at that point, Minyesho say quite to embark on such an exercise. But in the midst of all of this, I think say. A tray say police administration and our police service it has 2 phases. The first phase mainly what we are privy to about the successes of the police service under the leadership of IGP Dampari, visibility, after your court case unit. There were revamping of K9 units, and then this other one, house patrol units, NRB. But there were an internal phase, filled with frustrations, resentment amongst the rank and file of the police service. Issues about promotion. In fact, yet he said, cyber security unit of police service is no longer operational because according to me sources are within the Ghana Police Service. See, those officers who were there at that particular point in time or wama ye omunyina, and they've not been replaced. So obviously, it may affect your cyber security assets. Ghana. And the Ecosono Chair said there are fundamental issues, structural, systemic issues within the police service, and could motivate your adversaries, your tamfu, high. So they might take advantage of it, considering the fact that there were issues within the police service are able to compromising or more ability to execute their mandate as captured in the Police Service Act 350. Okay. And the over politicization of the Ghana Police Service. And also, there were serious implications, especially as they got to about 2024. Because immediately political actors almost started to see police officers as either NDC or MPPR. GDR or more in police ejumanu. And you're careful and deal with such structural issues because we about leadership even we leadership without dealing with such fundamental issues. Still problems persist. So there's no denying the fact that there were major challenges within the police service that needs to be addressed. And
I deal with what do you mean, John? And you what the dada. That's what I said. A idea and and yeah, Nanquan yet promotion won some. I quite remember a brand of former IG Wohono. You see a promoting crophobia, one more and so promote woman, and maybe you're promoting the people from a particular part of the country. At a wohosa, but Pimsi baby away. But young in reality, no, or quite a first why you handle this issue. No. In your estimation, no, a idea airboa. It's answer. I come here say a yama personalities involved, no, even though a be on my idea between my boy mine, and I say be a baby a more mine. Ubia wo enia or they share woman and adria ubia enya, I will send the paying now. Until the personalities, no, who air basam, and I feel a be a for and a be against. Until no, sir for and against, no, or chinabi, see my way qua. Yahweh se the city or chinechi se wensu oho a yahweh se na no so city enti bibia ese yahweh ni bi se ho se anya bia okwan ye nam so e bi se bisansam okwan ya fa so handle this issue no is it the best?
Well, before Dr. Betmia treat you and then is to diagnose. Okay, so yeah, to me behavior to say tree I can say an ostriches. Ostrich, Suhuri, and pretend say everything is fine. There were serious issues within the police service. And I may say, at their committee, it's in the right direction. In fact, from day one, medium number were GDA power in committee, or Moijuma, considering the caliber of people in it, or more relationship with law enforcement, any legal stuff, Ghana. Okay, and Usha or mandate. Agya is very consistent with our mandate. Okay, more terms of reference. The ADK, they are supposed to verify authenticity, whether tip no papa and I papa. Secondly, investigate conspiracy behind removal of IGP because of political expedience. Then there were other issues that are broad. It's a broader mandate. All other issues are incidental to SAR tape. So in my honest opinion, I think the idea is good because normal way people outside didn't know about it, and police, a public service organization, may know there was stake. But how do we contribute? By understanding what the real issues within the police service is. So in my candid opinion, there and it would interest you to know that going forward there are more revelations, Beba. And galvanizing issues then we'll be able to deal with the substantive issues. But the thing is, fine, there were promotion issues in the past, but at this point in time, I think it's just reached an alarming proportion. Undeserving officers are almost through, deserving officers are still Omo promotion over a long period of time, and a bit more people complaining over the fact that the same ladder IGP or UZ to climb within a very relatively short time from corporal 1990 all the way to IGP within that period. Now expect to say he would use the same.
According to 33 years.
Yes, 33 years. So almost so they were expecting say you would create similar opportunities for officers to climb, even though there were serious contentions with respect to and then able to sort of and then able to promotion. No, it's not just about the period of time who are within a certain rank.
Capability, experience, and
obviously paper education is also fine. Okay, because or use IGP or use education to get to where he is. So what I say. So for anyone to opine and say paper doesn't really matter. It also matters. Okay, and it also depends to a very large extent on your merit. So what and no, I think there are some ambiguities in it because on what basis? Entering police service procedures, any guidelines, but still, there were tricks almost play with respect to SAR promotions. Entering on an unprecedented scale. Police officers be brave all across the country are disillusioned. Many COP Alex Mensah, there were differences with respect to the way he went about things. Okay, lobby there will be a lobby, and I can tell you, say nobody can become IGP without some level of lobbying. At least who Godfather be. There's some few words. This man is a good man, and government be appointed IGP Omunino between Juma without issues. An IGP they can trust to some extent. But interestingly, COP Alex Mensah has become more like a celebrity, especially to junior officers. Same way because we are not TUC. We are the Ghana Police Service. So it represents what has been in our hearts all through these years. Okay. So assembly is getting more complicated by the day. But I'm hoping, in the end, possibly, after parliamentary inquiry, maybe, or maybe recommended for the establishment of a commission, a real commission of inquiry, that will be sanctioned by the executive. So, or they would have more powers to even prosecute beyond Agya parliamentary ad hoc committee in New York.
Okay. Baby, I can see you know na call Your Excellency San Pierre Lusuno bisa say Your Excellency, so you see Adib Sani can asemi no. Come say ensam hyehyɛ hɔ na mu no na kana yentumi nkaba na ma bontenti no na obi ate na afi nsam no APP na do nya mpo a anke bitumi ate committee bi a on be ye mo komu mo na se koba se bi a say ye do obi kra kugina ase ni bi a etumi de na kugina ase ni bi a with that kind of adwen wo yetirimu se sa na ye be no a wugini se ebema the kind of cohesion na ye hwehwe so within the police for administration no ebe ye adwuma when say the kind of commitment I say yenya police for nya no mo do bo man ho ban no ye betumi nya enkonkoba say nipa bi so bedi yaw esense wo bra ye se ye binkum no ai bia na defense esu wo baby wugini say baby ane ma ekoyi no je betumi aka adwobre wo baby na ka ye fa okwanfoforo bi so I deal with the issue rather than say yebamana ayehu within the public domain eno na bema ye confident na yebenya police book ra no ebetumi akofam
yo Jacob na medase me kanchia meja for magizo
hey nene good morning
nene since you was on the television
nene good morning
good that morning. Doesn't miss this program nene HL Misanchia NDC Professionals Forum. Last week I used him here in National Review.
Okay.
Now, as somehow what better way? Is that correct? We ɔgyensɛm pii epoi nti no abɛyɛ dɛ obiara ne for woman na owesom na ɔretwe sɛ ɔsono bɔ fam a isu yɛ hwɛ yina so a isu sɛ ne nan a ba no ɔkeka bebree basa yɛanhwɛ ne yie a yɛbɛkeka nsɛm no abɔ mu ama asɛm titiriw a ɔnam de ma wɔhyɛ committee no yɛayɛ wɔn dɛm tape yi will reveal a number of cases ebi nyi dɛ is it permissible Agya Kwabena dɛ ɛnyɛ wo nyanko regye nkɔmmɔ na mbisan na ɛrekɔde na the law says no, the constitution says no, because everybody is entitled to his privacy. Na nkɔmmɔ a mefa dɛ me brother Alfred Thompson wabɛfie a yɛreason ɛwɛ ɔwɔ MPP mu wɔ NDC but motuma aka asɛm a mefiri dɛ ɔnyɛ wɔ NDC ho no so motuma aka dɛ ayɛ maaso me party nzɛ me rekɔda a ɔnyɛ
ɛsɛ ɔbaa no pɛ kora ne yɛdi nkɔmmɔ bi
yes
nti nkɔmmɔ a yɛdie no ɛyɛ nkɔmmɔ bi a ɛfɔ ɔman no ho nti saa time yɛdi nkɔmmɔ yɛ na bia wa record na
yes now embrama ɔhyɛ kitchen dɛ damazin menyɛ
okay
ɔsɛn dɛ mmerekuru na menyi afrɛdi dɛm nkɔmmɔ ɛwa menyi sim dɛ ɔyɛ mu nua mu yɛ firi dɛ ɔwɔ NPP na mosom wɔ NDC dɛ yɛreka samala na a record. The constitution is against that. However, say menya Alfred share na America sama oye mamboy sam another America there menyim nkrofo bia mosomo ho de won mede truma ho de won kokoye onko wiade ehwa on the Alfred botuma record na adamama mpeinfo de won hwe sampi yale yi na ada oriyenyi. That is for the prevention of crime. The basic constitutional law in there is not permissible. The ever record will be when it is in a private conversation. Because you blow your top. I mean, off camera, you can say we are me MPP. We begin away one yabi and you want to compare us with assembly can or you know now you the same thing is in the MPP, in the NDC. It's there. Maybe a best no call. Wara wanker of Usua Ampofo. Yeah. On ye NDC for your meeting. And now, Mirana no yesukakra. That dinner ya bokotu. I was so where's war gone election. In some sort of one come. Ojina court mo wa court 35 times from a leak tape. I have also heard cases as a lawyer. In Crawford, police funan kasawa pick one social media comments. No way investigate one. In Cheffer Bending. And now, Bibia. The institution that is supposed to protect all of us, the institution that is prosecuting people for leak tapes and recordings, will themselves be so engulfed in the leak tape mechanism. Is that correct? Now, as some cruiser or in or day leak take pian so whether illegal or illegal or what the purpose the purpose of the conversation in this bugina gate here the purpose of the first leak tape obey he ni there Yakro asan by election. Some people were not too happy with how the IGP conducted the elections. I was in National North all true. Now, I saw all the service commanders. All the service commanders. You understand it. They zoned the whole of Asen. What PK? Resport. Is that what you call it? Resport. What PK? NDC one stronghold. And what PK? NPP so one stronghold. And now, one philosophy what they call Asen North, as in Kumewu, was that more politicians go and do whatever you want to do. But the elections will not be affected because of security reasons.
To be in
yes. That was the philosophy. I've read the policy document, what they call Asen North. There. Go and do. You can go and do your rigging, but a rigger, you won't more quite. And then so said them Crawford Bukalib, Man Crawford will be trouble for much people. They have no business because the parties were warned there. There will be enough security. So there will be no need for any party security. And in fact, according to the constitution, Asani will remember that it's illegal to raise a private army for any purpose. In the police, the two classical arrests they made was Obi and what dress and what you and Obi and what dress and what you police. But that doesn't mean that there were not other infractions. But the police were focused on what they think would affect the security of the elections. So these police commanders were stationed across board. Sefi Cape Coast, na Erba. But the first time, before I confunded, there was a commander. Echo, friend, then other places, there were always the police commander. The interesting thing in there, who the police in Yubiari Okay? However, at the command center, there were emergency response units. Oh, in Timin friend there, say wo Kushia. Na say trouble birisa. The command unit no wo Kushia, manned by a COP, would deploy immediately. In two places, I saw the red pickup be Abba with men, young Kofi Alebi, young Kofi Wajbechabo, with the men in it. The police immediately stopped them. And I walk right now, Pablo, your brother Pablo, and Basintali, they were also going, and a group of people accosted them, destroyed their car. And the police went on them. They were cheering, ma yehuni wo TV mini there. The General Secretary of the NPP with a couple of people were complaining. There, how can the police, maybe a NPP stronghold, there was trouble there. But NDC stronghold, there was no trouble there. That was the complaint that came on the screen. Now, the response was that we had cautioned our members in the stronghold that there was no need for violence in this election. Let us go to this election, win or lose credibly. And it was a surprise there. NDC Nibotumako, NPP in stronghold, the Baka attack one. So the attacks, or so-called, were staged. They were staged. I was at Asan. Now, relating it to the subject matter and the discussion in there. After that, there were so many calls, discussions there. This IGP say you know call 2024 election now you will lose. And so there was a son.
And if he for
who else was saying that? I can give you litany of people who say that, but I don't want to glorify them. Because a right-thinking person, there are madam reasoning. It's at Mechasa. Nunsu. And now, you can see people there. Say, why ban there or the IG people for that? No. And yet, yana nan kanswa were in the, you understand the fancy? Yana nanum, our ancestors are die in the UP people. So the question is, which of the parties in the UP? You know, it's a united party. So which of the parties in the UP are you even saying on your own ancestry? So somebody goes to an influence peddler, my good friend Nabugri, who, upon facilitation or otherwise, agrees there. Konaka for we see in the fire than Fabra. According to Mensa, the CV that was supposed to be taken to the president rather was given to the IGP. So it's like Eddie Canton, Eddie Sowusu. So it changed some Norokoda or there. Then the IGP becomes conscious of the persons around him. Now, let me be specific there. It will be very suicidal that this committee would derange itself from the core of their mandate. All right? My son Nadim says that he knows of a canopy of disenchantment in the police service. It is well known. It is well known. Way back in 1961 or so, several persons have delved into police disenchantment. And usually, a person in history in Ghana, coup d'etats, right? People mobilize their sentiments and emotions of soldiers, other ranks. They mobilize it. And then say there, they are going to redeem the country, do this and that. And they get support because people are disenchanted. So as for disenchantment in security forces, it is not new. So one kasa June 4th, the mutiny was not because of anything. It's because the soldiers have been disenchanted, first and foremost, about their own emotions and other things. So all that Jerry had to do was to mobilize that and link it to the general situation, economic situation in this country, and the fire was on. Sometimes also, such emotions are orchestrated. Yes, because where they find in the Kwabena a voice, then a lot of manipulations take place. The Kwabena okay A was okay A, okay B was okay B, you know, and it all comes up to certain things. And that is what I saw from experience, what COP Alex Mensah was exhibiting. He was exhibiting the voice of a so-called hero. But for me, it's a total deviation from the subject matter of the probe. One, the probe was to find out whether the tape was authentic. And that is why I have a huge problem with the Minister of Interior. As the Minister of Interior, with national security, military intelligence, police intelligence, NIB, all the intelligence at your disposal, I am sure that the tape at the time it leaked was not the first time Minister of Interior should have heard it. I'm not lying. Should not have been the last. And if he was the last person to have heard it, then we have a problem. Then you heard it as a Minister of Interior. It appears to me that no response to the is to be ignored. It's not true. His reaction showed to me that he was not on top of his brief, because such a serious case that Yenyi IGP, just because he is not an MPP person, is such a serious thing, because it would go to the basic foundation of our democracy. You know, was it the case that there was a general plan that 2024 must be won by the NDC, NPP at all costs? That is why they are talking about breaking the 8.
Your Excellency.
Sepalok woho na anhwehwe sa fine mbuya na break elewiado. Elewiade. Has there been any general discussion like that? Indeed, everybody who is attuned to that policy, has to find a way of implementing it. Link it to my very good friend and brother, Albert Kandapa. When he launched the National Security Program, he cautioned the judges, my own judges, there. Say, Timamufun will lose confidence in the judiciary. It's a security threat. And we have seen in this country before. You remember that idiot, Amatekwe, what he brought into this country? Because he himself, he felt that as a union leader of Jihok, now we're leading Kwabena Parliament. Na judges ni wejai Nunkrofon. Look at him. He took the decision and became a problem for all of us. Today, some people have lost their parents. And he gave a right advice. But forwarded another bombshell, which was that, say, they be with the assembly who favor Hena. And Kwafu, Wabakade, judiciary is not right. Let me paraphrase it that way. So, as some of your teams says, on the accumulation of several incidents, no Banedam. So the purpose is find an IGP who will not do what was done at Asin North. Find an IGP who will do what was done at Ayawaso West Wogon. Yes, because I say IGP's conduct at Asin North did not help the NPP to win. Okay? Contrast it to Ayawaso West Wogon.
Yes, sir.
I have seen your interview and discussions when COP Mensah was asked, the people who came there, are they policemen? Was no comment. You remember? Was no comment. Are you denying them? Was no comment. Are you denying them? Was no comment. That was soon after the attack at Ayawaso was gone. You can play the tape. Let me round up there. What is the policy actions supporting the breaking the 8? what are the policy actions? Because as for me, I would hand over only to an MPP successor. Okay? I will hand over only to an MPP successor. Midway in your second term, this government has stopped and ceased governing. This government has ceased governing. They have put the country on autopilot. Because for the past 6 months, the vice president, for example, has stopped functioning as a vice president and is functioning as a candidate. Some ministers, cabinet ministers, until recently, had launched their campaign long time ago. We have discussed it here several times. They have stopped governing and pursuing breaking the 8th agenda. As for my president, he has checked that. You know, the president will check out that.
What check out? So also Jubilee House.
I'm not a resident. Because the president was asked, no business. We questioning business. Oh, the economy is in a mess, but that's why we are electing a new leader. You saw the tape.
And yet, Jim Agya to say, and correct, he's been frank with Ghana for say, never my ding, until never my ding. No, they are no so say, a bit you about
Oh, Major Kwabena.
Uncle.
The president is not only a president, too. He is the head of state. And he take the third position in there. He's the commander in chief. So in the moment, you are supposed to be the commander in chief. The new leader will take us out of the mess. And I say, I am urging the committee to resist the temptation there. What be stray in the police administration or the police administration. Because the issues there are more administrative, and Parliament may not have the jurisdiction to investigate or do anything about the police administration. For me, what has been happening in the police service gives me a picture of total failure and incompetence of the police council. Because in corporate governance, when there's such colossal failure in a year, first they won't blame Thompson as the managing director. They first blame the board because they are supposed to be the owners of their company. The constitution did not put police council there for the sheer joy of being members. They gave them functions. So if questions of people's promotions, soldiers want promotion, the IGP's alleged style of administration on your good contract, no why them must it come to Parliament? What was the police council doing? My son was very right there. In the middle of a parliamentary probe, the police council, people are saying it was IGP who interdicted
Mensa.
No, it was the police council who interdicted Mensa. And when there was public reaction, then they resigned. It's on record there. I've seen the minutes there. Dampare recruits himself. One Tinamibi. And he say, Yatsina Warama. Police council you tell Police council you tell what in Warama? We have seen this level of maladministration, so called, in the police service. na you are somebody poor. Finally, Kwabena, this revelation really fits into the puzzle of the decadence in public institutions. That's what I say. There. One from a fire service. One from immigration. Naturally, there was somebody poor. This 7 years of NPP government. What do you be when you be program? As we find then the Koshi is saying.
Tina say a cuckoo from Pond, the Assembly Banabuso Kayana. Alfred, your excellency can say be Edukona we no. What I made by Basse. You were said Okayano, why you penny a war Scakrabia be. The name says Scakrabia, and you are we are managing director and will not take a decision. By your board, no, and a tenancy, and Mamma try to know Yamaha, okay, this is with the APC in. And it's subordinate na se na sa wo to me esi if you pay mu ye dia wo pay bia na boss board no omo eni hwamo eno na na oka about police council no say police council no omo wo ho say omo behwe say ne manyina be ko say de say ko IGP ne ehye police council na ase enti say wo matena se amana dum pempenso bi say dia na say friend say police council for no, we are very disappointing. Sana also
Jacob na mema watching.
Me also.
Mema ambassador watching. Na mema minya so watching. Na police council and police interrogation asema yebisa no. Ambassador to why and fine was akafa asin ma why explain asin in the NDC language na public na entire there asinze nhonze wokoe mama once had why clean MPP na wokozi hambo because MPP na wo abin but minimdo or your politics na worry na politics no so say epede eba abin ma ebe kansem pi ezibi befra ezibi be ye no potoi na eye just to make sure that at the end of the day you know uhona worte un wo beji assembly nyina kan
ntisa assembly papa senya no kore nyina
was no kwa na eyi
no nyina no boni nyina fra na ori ye ma kan sa assemna essence say ye gina chinye kura
me sama meke yala mo he na mode akowi sam frey
na say mereba point
oduru ha ne ya
ye be kan nyina
ntisa ma kan sa asem say politics no ye no kura kakra is it not the same as you are saying
oye ensema woye ina orika or danize achen say asema woye wo hon ona mahamari danize achen
wo kasa wo say politics no
miss NDC no call ina asema wa ken oze no kura na afrim no oze eyibon no so afrim worry here today mozi mahamari achen one day
wo can say but in politics politics no but
the politics and I'm a candidate NDC one politics what can politics na was a Israel frame what here what different na awa it na echi na ni nyina atum there asema work on the
but in politics
in NDC politics
we no say but in politics we
can paraphrasing but in NDC politics thank you very much oti ebi awo ente NDC side ente politics but NDC politics ya mean so what but ado ache ya mean sure on politics awoye what can na was a intro so afrim kakra
intro
ma make be intro the president never used the word say the economy is in a mess. He never said that. He said there are challenges. And whoever takes over from him will come and continue and put things in place. That was the word the president used. He never used the word that the economy is in a mess. Into yereka yenkane ye na mosi odaho. Zoto do ebieni. Vice president. What's vice president in Yejuma? In the Dara. Vice president and inaugurate cadet AU for the what friend then. Is it say fire or say prisons in data or inaugurate one and it's all over wo enam bede mo bue wo impo actual wo Instagram actual I was watching it ɔreyɛ n'adwuma ɛna ɔreyɛ campaign 2012 president president Mills win na Mahama take you over Mahama as president no one year campaign one fa n'adwuma there me a president nti ma me nje m'adwuma ma me nje campaign here because me pede me a candidate me win elections as a president and all kind there oneze orba besum or man nti me nka year campaign he campaigned, he went on tours, he went to make sure all commission projects na say ni you know year campaign nti let us not muddy the waters when we are going into that section. Zotodu Ibasa and me ohia pa or de yeta say. Also interior minister tape no be wanka ho hwe. He just brushed it aside. So I can say and the same NDC no who believe there ye pede ye to NDC IGP ne fee ne gwado because of asena ye feel that ye lose the election at IGP and boy. And if interior minister had gone ahead to say okay tape na wa ban yenhwe na say IGP no dey ye yineza do that said asema working on order hon interior minister no so say also feel there in some working to him no on here yen focus and we are not going to change IGP today, we are not going to change IGP tomorrow. What say hey MPP fo won pede wo hwehwe nyamem. The tape itself, and he knows, would have been an intelligence thing if it was not leaked. It would have been intelligence gathering. And in the security services, you pay for intelligence gathering. The moment you leak it, it is no longer an intelligence gathering tape. It becomes something else. And I mean, you thank you. Inti sometimes ye aza na ye kaza or de ye shrim pepe zoro kodom. Okanya ka me general secretary wasem. The John Boydu Coils in Crawfordzi which you can there in the MPP Frankutin na wa attack on.
That was not John Boydu.
Justice Kodia. Me general secretary, sorry, Justice Kodia. Justice Kodia say MPP strong vote Frankutin na wa attack. We had instances where things were going on as general secretary and Pedro Obakande azar or cordon on yefe on set non fata there onka. Does that mean that because work and there azar worry yet on set on fatality not chere opede osisa IGP stepping in the way review nyama piache. And one thing in corporate governance ebisa no hwasem no na mebe gina wodo. Okay. Corporate governance is the management that is held first and foremost accountable for anything that goes on. The board or the council is a supervisory body. Management puts the plans and everything in place and goes to the board for approval. That is what happens in corporate governance. And your board will not take decision for management. It is never done in any corporate industry. Micromanagement is never done. And any board member who does that will be sacked because it is wrong. And that is why we stated categorically that any board member will create office in the organization is not a board member. He now wants to be a management member. And that should go on record. The council does not put the management information and everything in place. Your strategy or everything is done by management, and then the management will present it to the board. Any decision I want to offer to make sure the company is run well, the daily affairs of the company is done by management, and that is why they have the police POMA, or what do they call it? The management board of the police service. They take all these decisions and they just inform the board. And they will explain to the board why they want to take decision A or decision B. Say, waka for decision. Now what should that decision? You now cancel it from one catch on the no. As someone will be church ye moon, you have to you feel that otherwise no on your rights. Once there's a higher body interrogating or investigating this case, you can't interdict someone. They have the right to tell them and to withdraw it on no uncertain terms. Into order yet almost all these things I say. There we cannot have our cake and eat it. You separate what is going on. There are challenges in every institution, and I always say it. There in every aspect of our life, even as an individual human being, you have challenges. It is how you manage it and come out of those challenges that makes you a strong person, and that makes you a unique person from Alfred or from Agya Kwabena. Because Agya Kwabena occur into difficulties no, or yeah A B C D E F in a otume film into Agya Kwabena wo adwena was ye aziye obi so wo ho a come man challenges na challenges in beto na enyima obeka cho dem awie nam nyina wa aka dompe ntumi ye hwe wo ho. Into those challenges, you realize that the person cannot manage, or the person is not capable of turning challenges into fortunes. Out of my cousin Bia or US in the year Cassie, she has a big organization. What she mboframa why them impaired, or baneden never being first one or woman or what them challenging. No hospital. No who they are. Why don't instead of them care why don't I open something like that? No, the boy. She's a multi-millionaire out of that. She saw a challenge ahead of her and she turned it into a fortune. What done? Now, yeah, challenges are as a police service. A police service all started in Nyende in a yenim there. President's bar on an offer police. This is the first time in the history of our country a president on him there the police IGP orphan was an ADC to a former president or a former vice president or an NDC person, no opposition party, but he still went ahead and picked him. You want to tell me there say president or cover IGP 1 year information gathering man BNI in here all the necessary checks and balances. One check to see there, ni power funny, or why are them that, or who allegiance to who, or them. They all want to make sure there, as he said, no, nimpa erefana abahon, or there or ye jumama. Because oko you, wanko you, what blame awo. Until you want to make sure that the person you are putting there, no, yeah, solid material or betuma ye jumamo. President woman briefing in and it came out even in the tip. And my friend IGP, why former late Atamils, may so rest in peace. Why any ADC that or your vice president or president na no kakahunina, what can you? But president knew all this, but he still went ahead and appointed him. One check no political bias and abe why ye jumama NDC nida inti. Marine fan. Or say obetum will be manning my police service respect abahwa. I will give it to him. Yes, Obiana Mosi or Rand Ninyama. They want to get to a point A. What is their point A? Point A, there, what their police service and respect bim. What their police service and certain things bima obobwa. Now, I'm to be with whom police service. Because all the time be not no cry when you're meaning. Ebo police ni be nizina. The first time we catch the police for what you bribe. In there. The ebo police nizina we can do visibility. We were all over the place. Obiara won. Say bibi nya ye betu my friend won. Say bibi nya ye how to contact how to make sure that ye nsa aka won. Them 999 calls na zina 199 say then oko wondo ma wonso wotum wo ba wonchen very say extra police stations near to you na say in the police service and why add 7 more regions to their regional area what map out na say there are certain things I worry here. Yes. Nyama bi wo hwa eya obeti obi na no obi rempe. Nya bi so wo hwa eya in the general interest of the public no obwa. Into definitely IGP ejuma oreyen obeti ankofo honando. People will like him, people will hate him.
Yeah.
Definitely no so obi so be penasem because at the end of the day today promotion assignment last how many years 8 years ago there were challenges in the police service on promotion.
Sure.
Say emi make enyi make tonight baby say we can there me MPP nyinti me promote MPP for nyina major NDC for NDC nyi so ba we can there oye NDC nyinti we promote NDC for nyina major MPP for. There are challenges all over. Even when I was in the NIB, sometimes I do say and I mean pay NDC for 170 major NDC for nyina they say so many things. But as a leader no you also have to weigh some of this. Sometimes yeah, the na to watch no. As a juma, I also by way na share there or as some work can bia na unconsciously. Area bibia worrying him there. So you weigh some of these things. Otina honor can they will forgive no crofuna watina hon will forgive one as in. I laughed over it because now me respect him put the won't be standing there. Now as I forgive Obia, as a bet chanity there or what. Okay, demo boy. Or say if there is something you have to cut off the head of the snake. You don't kill it halfway. But as I have forgiven.
Which contest?
In contest. The contest was that. The contest was that one fast something called camera. No, so opeda okay.
In public.
So that this matter will be put to
and
rest.
if there is a snake which will bite you, you have to cut off the head.
To put the matter to rest. That is what it meant.
You want to tell me that one what's in a honor work and they want some of the things you call on camera, they don't know why they are saying that. There are some of the things no in camera. Security issues. You can bring everything out.
Person ya mana ye. Wo I ma tension ma system no mu. As I say I can say I dey pa na wo ho ntia ani de enko ka na okukuom. Wo say everybody be speculating. Say be say na say as a president, sorry and Apabia, one more security briefing of what is going on in all the security sectors. On out. Or remember out that. That is why we always say there, when you are taking a president, or there for president, on Casapia, say, be a Obama security briefing, but Baba Bejana, I can all kind of work and man yet, and found ye because you're paying pa, a cancer was machine. No patch, I say. Oh, my command say me. What you are saying there. We look for leaders, they know how to keep certain information. And there are certain information, whether you like it or not, in the military, in the police, in the various service sectors, it will not come out. Or wonder or a public institution, or wonder yes, the taxpayers, but near Bibia no idol. And he's a security expert, he knows that. There are certain things that they can never as parliament. That is why one of the area worker, Parliament has sworn an oath of secrecy. There are certain things that in Parliament it will go on table and there are certain things will write in a book, but it will never come out. And that is why in Yankasampu, Ambassador Rekasan also there recording someone is a crime. Because there are certain things that and that shows maturity and leadership, and it is necessary. As of today, being sorry, what can the first one in contest? Second one you there, or sorry, Kochia one, or your fair, or you saw. But Nimpa Wokochia one, just before this thing, you are the leader of the police service. Definitely, what your interdiction put a recuse one to inform you before. Could have come and said that no, this thing will not help our cause. It can bring the service down. It can bring issues within. And they will blame you whether we like it or not. Why can't we hold on? And he can even meet the council and tell them that, council, at this point, I don't think this and this and this is right. And council will listen to him. Into whether you've recused yourself from the meetings or not, still you will be informed before the final letter will come out. Did he stop them? There are so many things you ever find face value, but it goes into details. What I'm saying there, we say things and we act differently. Or you're very critical because some of the snipers of Agya were saying Mafa woman, but Mafa woman, for someone to come and set out and say that this is the West Police IGP, it's a very serious statement. And me, I would not accept that. The Oboko Keke at the West IGP. Or your Western Bukra, ye who Yamabia was out to year, Yenina, ye do dance there. Why them? Ma wabwa, my visibility, wabwa, my other information flow. Sometimes you will say, there, hey, why there? Various police stations want to make sure I don't want issue letters and I don't want issue. But sometimes you have to have controls. Because those times, every police station in America, and a head office also records something different. But once it's coming and they get the necessary information before they release their press, it also helps in controlling and bringing that speculation out for our police. There are so many things Obiana the management staff, Obiana once you open the Ozenyama to 2 years. You will like some, you will hate some.
But at the end of it all, abazo no opedoye, opede oma respect by police institution mo, opede oma mpuntu by police institution, opede at least under his reign, what can they obey also to me the A, B, C, D beto hoye. Because I've spoken to junior officers, and when I was graduating, I went to Kumasi on one of our tours here called campaigning. And I mean, be more cast. I was say, listen, one of the things I catching, I say, on him there, ibinum je bribes naze. But as a new entrant, what she will be biara, there ake jiska will be ho, and now we who there ake jina kwanchet at jiska. That is the end of you in the police service. So they are very, very, very cautious about that. He might not be able to stop that AE, but at least he started a process. Will train in Crawford, but we who there taking money, doing that, you know, it's not good. As well today be an district level now. First, it was only the district commander who has command over that place. It is a district commander where nobody can take any decision. Now, we put him in such a way, or was it offer some Indian style type of AE, or call Indian or maybe there's like a 3 chain of command. To take decision. So at every point in time, there's someone there that the job should go on. Good decision. Or police service. To some of the junior officers, they like it. To some of the senior officers, they don't like it because at the end of the day, you know, you've taken control from one. He stated it, and he is going to follow his.
All right.
But follow up.
For 2 minutes, say the other topics they say discuss.
Okay, because sir, assembly, national security, comprehensively.
Okay. His Excellency Sapia le Kasembi about President can say also President I check it out. Now you be po obi a obe fix na won can different what dey say ka kwa di kwakuna nu enti yenti asem potia President kan you free video briefly na fe member of na fe say na be a bit your solution once and for all.
Have a good record to defend, and we'll have some significant achievements which have addressed the concerns of the Ghanaian people. I'm very confident that we're going to the election in 2024 in a good state.
But most there are concerns that the campaign has led to a lot of vitriol and a lot of hostility. What's your concerns about such claims?
I believe at the end of the day,
walk the talk.
But at the same time,
and one can say difficulties,
but challenges.
But can see your people will be free moon.
Yes, someone will continue.
But journalists also Ghanaians are hungry and angry about Agya. Also, yes, I was one of the first persons to admit that indeed
He said.
So maybe in other words, Anna.
Did you say it was a mess or challenge? So I admit that there's a mess or a challenger. Haven't you admitted that, great? Every admission of a situation.
Yes, what you to? Okay,
we were challenged about information management at Ghana Police Service because some time ago, discussing police assembly at least as Atabewa if you're thinking and any of those police PROs. But after IGPC was centralizing, but in the past now you were regional PROs. So as MBC, Bumpurua, and Accra, normal granting interviews. No police were would grant sir interview. Unfortunately, I feel very centralized. Obia and Kasabium. So if anything happens, Jendi, instead of say Uber grantee interview with Northern Regional PRO and our Northern Regional Commander, Accra and Omobe issue statement. So now journalists be no complaining, and according to police, they should refer to the statements. Meanwhile, we really want to think say no yes, it is completely wrong. And the second thing, police police council, administration and promotion of officers above the rank of assistant commissioner of police. But you see, USHEP regulations, 3 entities normally initiated disciplinary actions. 1, Omanpenyin, 2, IGP, and 3, police disciplinary board. So what I would have expected police council to do is to refer that issue to police disciplinary board. However, there were issue maybe police be a pie or be aso, then it has the potential of dragging the whole police service into disrepute. Then police council can step in and make sure that the right things are done.
Okay, that's it.
On financial administration, budgeting, promotion, and of officers of a certain rank. I presume there, Asari Noni, whatever the other one, and COPC. This is what we are talking about now. To micromanage
police service.
Police service. Mr. Them structure now.
Yes.
Them structure the whole. Madam semi fifty Ghana police service.
That's how much to be who advise the president.
President, the airport doing. No, you want some bonapo.
Okay, I'm saying one or two.
Secondly, look at the composition of the police council. 10 of them. The vice president, minister of interior, senior officers, one representative, junior officers, one representative. You and I, we have served on boards. We have been in boards. So if there was a union representative, what is he expected what to do? To bring issues, local union from work at once. And when the senior staff association president, representative there now, it is supposed there matters concerning his rank, and he brings it up. So if all of them have been on the police council and have not been able to advise the president properly, and this have festered to the extent there, so your money beer, can you imagine the level of enmity that could have come the Ekubutuma point in the
what kind of maybe be the composition of the police council?
Yes.
No? Or say a chairman who shall be appointed by the president acting in consultation with the Council of State.
Yes.
2, the minister responsible for interior. 3, the inspector general of police. 4, the attorney general or his rep. And after 5, a lawyer nominated by the Ghana Bar Association. 6, a representative of the retired Senior Police Officers Association. 2 members of police service appointed by the president, acting in consultation with the Council of State, one of whom shall be a junior rank. 2 other members appointed by the president.
They are not just this is an interest group. Ghana Bar Association. They would advise the council that what you are, this decision you take, or you're illegal or not legal, is constitutional or not constitutional. I was not calling there. They should micromanage the police.
Okay, well noted. Yeah, that's it. When the young your time no, I see young Your Excellency,
Papa,
limited registration. I know who answer me. Me na social media can somebody like some could to a black one. I complain say the area hono near man shada nkosi dey say siko. We call other parts of the country, ebia northeast, northern region, and those areas are almost so encounter a few problems being man. So far, maybe a year dreamy, legal issues were home. They in some ankrata call about 4 times. Bailiff no ya man kwan amane nko yisi office enfa nkoma omo later igane tie nra na metie one of lawyers no o ka say they say yisi lawyers no afre say omo fa nsamankrata no emra na ye nhwe say sa dia ekoso yi ye da samna court the injunction atoso ye da so aye contempt asem. See, you see a better than young in them. The better say, Bibiama, Ubiana, dreamy say, Abia, Bibi, and the course naturally. What actually, you're opposed to the method I use so the SR limited registration. Near my course of a Pim Sabrino. My meeting was reached 10 minutes.
You say, Jacob, now,
Your Excellency.
I do cry, you do too young when you're there. We are practicing democracy.
Yeah.
And one of the key tenets of democracy, we be defined there, it is government by the people for the people. The same young constitution, it says, we the people, the preamble of our constitution, we the people. there are other clauses. Okay, there. The sovereignty of Ghana resides in the people. Okay? Even if it comes to the judiciary, it said justice emanates from the people.
People who means Ghanaians.
Ghanaians. And in whose interest? Governance. So judiciary, governance, everything is done in the name of the people. So for example, as a lawyer, if the state is somebody will offend, there are certain state crimes, killing, murder, stealing, or state crimes. So if it's against individual or a civil case, and in that situation, it is the Republic versus Sampi Yali. Right? Just giving a backbone to the principle there, we want to practice democracy. So throughout the Constitution, the people comes first.
Yeah.
Under some clauses of the Constitution, today I don't want to be very legal, but I didn't open. Much in there. Every Ghanaian above 18 years of sound
18 years and
above.
Above 18 years,
18 years and above.
But by in law, when you say 18, anything above 18 is 18. In terms of the qualification for that. So that is the age of maturity. Okay? So if you are 17 and a half,
17 to 10 in next. Okay.
Okay. So the Constitution says that every citizen above 18 years and above, of sound mind, is entitled to be registered to vote. This is not a privilege given to anybody. It's a constitutional right. And the Constitution itself says any law or regulations contrary to the provisions of this Constitution, to the extent of inconsistency, is void. Are you following what I'm saying? E or your white said the ash bar, ash or your void. One kind is not even regular, it's void. So the right to be registered as a Ghanaian after 18 years, or today, you cannot take it away from him or her. So if you make any regulations, like the CIs and other things that we have been toying up with for all these years, that limits or impedes the methodology for the person registering, that regulation CI is void. The master means
so share the person is entitled
by
into to me infinity.
It is against the Constitution. Say, Electoral Commissioner, Ajukusa, independent of who? From interference, not so. Okay. But when nobody is interfering with a YC, but the YC is trying to deprive people of their constitutional right. The YC itself is registration. It should be in accordance with law.
Yeah.
Adif, you are into security. What law have the people breached into my YC? Rekade. Mekadama obiare nkebi. Enano. YC, I say, me machines are say. Our demi yes can to new machines. What they call parliament. 1 2 the capital. one two this mpoa. What is the kenny nyinala what a man. This year's budget, the EC went to Parliament there, obey registration, and for the whole yearly program, about 330 something million. What that man? Into first, the normal cry there, limitations of funds is not part of the problem now. Okay, the EC is supposed to be independent, but he is dealing with a political system which deals with human beings, and which human beings have been organized politically according to the constitution into political parties. And I'm and he said, we independence, if it's subject to the constitution, and the constitution makes the people the owners of the country, and whatever you do, that's say until program be riba. Say, Kwabena, wana what's in craning. When you a crossing some water, and even in Kranha, them constituency, or Kakwe constituency, they had a district in Norway. Even in Accra here, Kantam Amasama na Trobo Naden. What the people are saying is very simple. We want to register because that is our right. But baby, your registration in say mini motivation another obi one bomber. Even if you are supporting the person, not something that come 2 hours, he will not come. And we take the view there. Election is a process. So I'm forwarding and share voters register anymore. So the political parties that say that elections are won at the polling stations, they are damn wrong. Because what happens in there, they invest all their energies and time in the polling station. The law is simple: garbage in, garbage out. So if the 4 of us here, say I'm finalizing and share register anymore. On the day of voting, you have lost. You have lost. So that the last voters registered plus a new one or better the exhibition, there will be a mass difference. No, that means that the system has populated the register. When they questioned the printers, they said, "Oh, we had made provisions for a second round. When there's a tie between the president, or for the second round to be." Then the question was, "Sir, even 4 years in the elections, now finally, waka Kwabena na adifa, why do you print a ballot box paper? You now 4 years in order." Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's another methodology for voter election rigging. As an electoral commission or a CCLA, forget about violence of it, I don't believe it. Does it make sense? There. But you are residing in your so-called independence. So, for example, my friend Bosman Asare states there, elections on your compulsory, has anybody told him no better to Abenibia? And therefore, you should bring policy that disenfranchises him. Let us look at this legal somersaults. 1, people file a writ at the Supreme Court. Miami Jadway. For the first time and strange reasons, the registrar said the Chief Justice has traveled and therefore cannot give a returning date. Oh, Was it because the court we are on vacation? But then we saw that some time ago, a man called France, filed a suit when the courts were on vacation. The Supreme Court gave, I don't want to mention names, gave one judge to look into the matter. And on October 4th, a whole panel was set. So the precedent has already been set. When we cited this, now the registered text message, yellow is there. Now the Supreme Court would hear your case in October on a data, and then wait. So the matter becomes functus. Yeah, I mean, somebody has taken this matter as a human right, because my explain actually the voting is a human right matter. And Alfred agrees with me there. Nobody has the right to take my life. Nobody. Except when the state, by law, that is only the state that can. So human rights cannot be taken from anybody. So this young little girl says that I am 18 years. Baby, I'm one. By this arrangement, so I want the High Court to listen to my case. The High Court listens to the case and says, yeah, you have a case. And therefore gives the ruling. The Supreme friend and attorney, electoral commissioner, listen to the girl's plea. 1 year. And there was someone also, what I call the contempt application by young practicing. Contempt is personal. It's personal. Let me listen to me law. Say me a Jacob no case, no court catch a Jacob no there. Yadam. Ewa. Some PLA men yadam. No a Jacob na that court catch a yen and ya. You have abused the court.
No court name here.
So that's contempt. Young Kende Alfred your brother. And then Adib your young Quintino. Say you are made for processing and serve Adib Ekofaka me Jacob na. One that the service no woman
and they call the punishment
direct. The only deviation you can make in the source of dog and yenja 49.
Okay.
Now proof service. Now these girls' lawyers want to serve the judicial friend then elect EC. Okraya agunyala watutum. Oh. And talk about the police station what to me. Check it. Electoral Commission. What to Electoral Commission now, Buma? That was not only the case.
What age, man? There was one age, man.
One man.
Electoral Commission to work age.
What can you work age, man?
Says one age, man.
Miss one age, man.
Your Excellency, we are not
only that, but there was a police car standing there. Police car, giving information there. There are instructions from above that they shouldn't allow anybody into the premises. I said, okay, you mentra.
It's a security zone.
Well, it's a public organization.
That's still a security zone. It's still a security zone.
But
even when, even if the court gives an order against the Ghana military intelligence, the order will be served.
Yes, but it's not everywhere you can go inside the military intelligence.
Sir, na office one. Ahono so security zone say.
Yes, you can go.
And the panel
but there are certain places you can't even enter.
I am speaking
almost server room.
I am speaking in terms of any security zone. I am speaking in terms of serving the person of the YC members. Say, what facing no Cambodia, Afghanistan, they can walk outside and come and take the service. Yeah, they may be honest. True. Again, they say no. Nani yala. Kwabena before versus NDC. Esi dun katia, Mahama. Kwabena before felt there is not being dealt well, so he went to court. As soon as he got injunction, Adib, what did the EC say? They wrote that night. That night, the letter was received around 2 a.m. I was at the party office.
So it was dawn. Not night, dawn.
Dawn, Madashim. 2 a.m. dawn, we received it. There. Yes, there. Once there's a case on injunction from Kwabena Dufon, they are not going to take part in the elections. There was these two things. The EC is not needed in our internal elections by law. It's not needed. But it gives a certain kind of respectability and credibility. If that is the case, when they conduct the election credibly.
Yeah.
So that night, we had to send emissaries to go and see Dr. Kwabena before. I said, die in the wool NDC. He said, no, I'm withdrawing. And Sana, you see, over conduct elections.
And Tina, what kind of business say, and can say, in the Koyeno, and can say, court the injunction to San say, you see, who say, a court in the injunction, I've been Sanka, so limited registration.
I have given you two principles.
I don't want to be any.
I've given you two principles.
And it's a no, what you're bringing in Pacho. Who say, you said, oh, Boapayo, and no more, and
until somebody tells me otherwise. Makade on Yesika come not the one. Because I'm on Sika. 2, you have the machines. Machines in ya told that the we teacher for Nadina, yes, one ma, why registration, what's in my hand. Teacher for Sinkade, why registration. So what can be the reason?
I know that many babies are Alfred. In 2016, Ansana, you better abano. The Intro Korea, limited registration Korea. Satana, Mammy Jane Mensa, on no, I quench for penny. A coba say, you better, I think, send any pabe about 600,000 or stand to be corrected. About 600,000, but true, you know. Or try to call say, SSA, ye mark quine, na. About the children, yeah, the controversial banner should be accessible to the people. Yeah. And to say, yeah, son say, Nipan fan would you know, James before 2016 election, you know. And man, can say, so let them not on IE Penino. Man, can say, yeah, say, yeah, bay no baby a wa, a behadjeni. It's your man men crophone, send a bayer, Nipan rights or what's between me actually the Atuabano. But you mean I answer. And you know, your man go to the doorstep of the people. And then, honor your penny or die in Sinano. Pay their Okana Sabreno, and their Cosineno. And Sacranimu. Dintin and at the end, Aquesa, Nasabreno put near register about just about 600,000. And you register more than 1.something million. And it's Sabran is Sabrin, Tamben Panakin here say, you're come for one pa.
Oh, Matty, Madame Jacob now. Before I forget, and the birthday of Honorable Fatih Abubakar, Deputy Minister for Information.
Okay.
May wishing a happy birthday.
Okay.
And may Allah bless her always. Jacob now.
Yes, sir.
As someone will be Samino, maybe Mammy Jean, and I'm going to be Sally.
It's Yanoni Abisano.
This year, the open say we are saying pense na dream na me hu sentia.
Oh yes.
Say what can all you do?
Me person say the person say that no question fan konkofa bobo no.
It brings me also to the quotation
of
then President John Mahama. Oko Joy Online or say on the 8th of the 10th of 2015 or say voters registration, state your case and let EC decide. Mahama tells what? Critics. Kawasem, na ma EC so yo mo decided they are person omoye. But don't go and start harassing them and issuing all these court AE and saying that and penny and waste any idea. On one okay nyame na mekai. Say ye quote. In the same 2015, at the national campaign launch at Cape Coast Sports Stadium, Ora Mahama said the use of accusation, including unprintable insults, held at the person of the EC chair has become normal. This is unacceptable, but as students of politics, we can see the strategy behind it, vilifying the credibility of the referee in the eyes of the public when you can tell you are losing the match. This creates a platform where when you lose, you can discredit and contest the outcome of the match. This is the underlying force for the whining that has been taking place against the EC chair. One day, Ura Mahama, ewo Cape Coast Sports Stadium. Time oyewe. I didn't marry fair we munina. Wo call register ewo ECR before God and man. Jacob na would do why they don't know whether you are NDC or you are NPP, whether you are CPP or you are GCPP. All they do is that for documents, na call register. Under normal circumstances, me say we don't even need agents there to do anything. We should leave the EC to do their job if we trust the system. But because Yankasa yen trusting a huninti, da ye per se agents now, no share obiene no share the ecoso. Because the EC can finish their work and print the document for you. You pick it up. Oh, and then EC are printing for 20. One and money for 20 no. And find on telephone numbers here. Then you watch it also. So you can always follow up. But you can go and campaign on them. I want you to join my party. I want you to vote for my party because of A, B, and C reason. At Yankasa
political parties.
Political parties.
When you say yes, no, so you say successive years is happening now. Wamakasa so enya niema bia ebema yanya yeti mamufo no benya rehemu yisi no say yisi will do a genuine job and also can
when political party or government mo criticize yisi da.
And they mean share them be.
When political party only government mo we praise yisi da.
Mean share them.
Thank you. Always in sanity.
Why should it be so?
And that is what I'm saying. Say you're wrong. Yankasa interesting. Yankasa interesting. Until we will always blame someone for our inefficiencies.
Na someone also need ye be so mama so suspected
also. Every time no way ba no blame me. Na way ba no blame me. Na way ba no blame me. But if you bring everything across board, say multi-maker no, by right no bona can here say political party best send the agents say kotina no na share their EC or we are now printing ammo. Then you will go out and go and do your campaign. But the Yankasa political parties sometimes are interesting to do certain things. So we will always want to find a fault and pinpoint someone. Like EC or career registration. Seriously speaking, last me year calculation, make sure say now EC na also Okoye registration. They wanted to register about 1.4 million people within 25 days. 25 days would divide there, we'll get about 56,000 per day. Per AE. We divide into nationwide. We divide in 266 constituencies. You get 266 constituencies. You get 210 people registering a day. EC can do this easily. And I can say a problem for my. But always know we want before the EC even takes a decision, we want to criticize. That alone is not helping us as a nation. Because every time the cost will say who say obia and yet say me. This also say one can also want to say it's a problem as a nation, and we have to call a spade and not a big spoon. Yan share na yan solve that challenges are internally because one, we are not supposed to even bus people to their place as a political party. We are not supposed to do that. you are not supposed to EC be register for next year and almost say a continuous registration. If the CI mo say me share we na me who critical issues na me say CI na mo dey to handle. If the CI expires now, you will realize that EC from next year January going on, they'll do continuous registration. Every time you can even walk to the office and just go and register. That is supposed to what is supposed to go on. So every time I think just about 3 months or so before election now, that is when 3 or 6 months they close the register so that you know who is in the register for the next voting. We assembly elections challenges won't be there from next year. Once they push, Parliament pushes and passes the CI now, we have this continuous registration. Why should it be so much of a bother? And can be even for assembly members simple and you see why in Nanado's wisdom, time are all pushing for assembly members to be elected and MCs to be elected, no? Or say, we always know it's on partisan lines. But we didn't want to accept it. Yet, Obia political parties in G2 make do baby na edu baby then this for no science person be partisan. But we know it's on partisan lines. If nanka all the MCs ne omo ye in charge of assembly near there no omo ye we ya nanka this is for them to go and do their and we focus on the bigger picture. Yes, they'll come in the register. Next year people will be 18, they'll be registering. And say, what's the big deal about all this stuff? But the young kasa you're trusting in home. And you will always blame the easy. And that is why I brought the quotes of Muhammad. The two strong quotes are Okote. When we are in opposition, we're also fighting the easy.
Of course.
Yes,
the Honorable Japan,
we used one person used unprintable language or even the easy chair at that time, which we apologized and everything later on. But not the harm has been caused. Why do we continue bastardizing our institutions? Why can't we give their first a bra meeting? Don't go there. Don't go there. I advise you that thing is don't go there. But we say we are not blaming them.
Now, also I will feel the panic say Then the panaba no abetenase. Now they are saying we are to now perform because so they be said they are there na maye no. Aduane abeso no ano Obama Kwabena doso do ntinu twen kakra usi okay na mo ntwen me na bia Monday mo bete menka. We are then my no. Yes, penisa. Friday, what's the entry? Friday, not the letter, but say, me name and Crawford tenants, no. Almost I didn't mean say me who I didn't yet over offer say Yamano. Yes, penisa. It's almost a what's why Yama. There's a George order should be going on. Because it's the Juma. Yen, you bet me advice in a cake. Obia one interest. Maybe interest are different from NDC interest. NDC interest are different from PPP interest. Every political party want a different interest because Obia so you say Obi wo ho say the party need the presidential on whenever. But our interest saint here or they all put Obi forward for a presidential candidate. Maybe also the raising the funds or the in other things. Into Obia one interest or running in doing a political party. But the end result is that the EC should be seen doing their work and doing it well. We can only advise. And that is why after every election, we come together and advise, say, oh, next time we say, until we share from the beginning of the Fourth Republic, we have been changing. Every time there's a new reform that comes in, and every time they add something new, from that opaque boxes, transparent. The card itself. The card itself. First, you want to make Jinahua, Wunkitaka, now to Abana. The whole different things. Now you be cards near there. Say, I dream who say in the near future, no. Yenina you be to me. I use a Ghana card. They vote so it will not even be necessary for EC to even do what? Registration. Because once you get your Ghana card, they take the data from Ghana, NIA. They put it in their system. So we do hope automatically what they will card they show. You say where the 18, wound the 18. Saganta system that money will be cut and used for something purposeful. There's always an evolution of something new. We all have to get involved. We all have to bring our minds together. Ye per se impuntuo back system no more. But there will be challenges. Their main advice is to say, almost so they shouldn't always be seen as trying to, have a banter with other political parties. They should come on board. Let us all work together for the interest and the good of this country. That's what Obi Lucia on Becca say, Wunti, Nadia, we because ye nim, ye who ye nim, or Monberry.
You Obia only message ada or accuse Obia, or accuse the judiciary, or accuse the EC, or accuse the police.
Are you referencing the NDC?
At the end of the day, no.
Are you referencing the NDC?
Submission.
No, but are you referencing the NDC?
Submission.
No more response immediately. Missy, could I NDC?
Who candidate on my message? If it's the time I elected, on to be changes, obey, all candidate, judiciary. He said Nancy has so far for so I responded to him. Say, young candidate to destroy the judiciary. They are wishing
as a young candidate, no better some.
I would know some
same as a dentist. I will give you appropriate response.
It's
why the paper?
If you are referencing I will give you appropriate response.
At the end of the day, you know, do your work. Go to the grassroots, get the people to register, which are your people. Because I'm kind of credential. The number of people, whether there are challenges in free SHS or not, I was speaking to some kids. Almost say, listen, you MPP ne free SHS almost insisted on
there were challenges there,
but they were able to do it. And all these over 1.something million children would know where they will vote for, whether it's an NDC person or an MP person, or do at the end of the day only baby or better. So we are not perturbed. We don't need EC or the police, as they always claim, to win elections. We will work hard because to say most of your young candidates is here on them form or year juma. Going from region to region, or year juma, or back office by year juma, no, I could be. Says here you'll be in Accra for some few days, or be cleaning up and they are going to table. So,
what can you say?
Dr. Baumia.
I saw you on one contesting.
And I saw contesting, or you say as a vice presidential candidate. Also, your first conference. Showdown, give it. Showdown, give it. But you know where the thing is. I mean, the grassroots have spoken.
They have spoken.
Kennedy,
they are yet to speak.
Kwabena Japan, all we first round was there. The grassroots have spoken clearly, and we know what they want. Let us do the honorable thing of giving the grassroots what they want. And the grassroots are crying for Dr.
Okay, and
so at the end of the day,
He don't have the time all the time for himself.
I kept quiet. Don't mind the time more than me, but I kept quiet. I don't mind. I mean, the amount that say we ambassador. As I say, the elections will be won and won convincingly. Okay. Koye with Juma now winning elections. And stop blaming everybody apart from yourself.
Yes, as an institution. Once yes, we command respect, we don't demand respect. And to the utterances of the some of the EC in penny for no, and then conduct no, would you say no so can be ma obi benya adwe be say e bia na nge wadwe say bi obey boni bi na mo ne ye won sam kan ye ne woniam bi ntiro bi be susu say wonya obey enti EC no would you say then the some ye at this critical time say the be obi nkokonya adwe bi say minyaya Onya obey yam bi san sehwe asem ko court you say the contempt bre omo famra some are ready ko ba ko be some age nsa ka ba na ka moje ya ko bi anya adwen bi say e bia mo obibi ampesa mo ye opanya ajekum kanse bi o se ade bia ni wunsam a mwa wonsa ama nkwada ntiti wunsa achi ntuje say dey na say yisi ni ye briefly I was happy mu se na be ya if there's any doubts bi mpo a e betumi fin krofo adwene mu
me da say many Alfred adwen or assembly or see anytime government what power and criticize EC or more opposition or more criticize EC. But you see, to me, absolve EC completely from assembly, from Agya Ekosono. Because when you say you are IPAC and who invite various political parties to IPAC meeting Afi on the agenda, then you would need the inputs of the various political parties. But here we are. Ibimu, of course, would have dissenting views about Agya Ekosono. Then in the end, you say, okay, but Agya yepese yenye. And no. to me without making any attempt to make compromises and I share halfway they be adia ye pese ye and it has gone beyond being a consultation to information ye mawo information keke adia ye pese ye and no to me creating problems. And one more issue, you see, EC doesn't exist without the political actors, the political parties, okay? And na extremely crucial, say, EC on one hand and political parties would work together towards implementing a lot of these decisions. But EC or mufano unilaterally, then it raises suspicions. And in our car assembly, or see, you see, GDA process, it can be the most well-conducted election in our history, yet Ebimu would say they be. It is wrong. But GDA Woma, it can be the worst election, yet the people will be happy with it. And me as an international relations person, so meaning say, for a lot of the unstable situations on the African continent, it has a lot to do with elections. For example, 2007, the African Union, or more be called early warning mechanism, Kenyan government, Almost see about one, you guys have to be careful because GDA process, the issues of tribal politics, and the about to me cause problems. The issue wasn't taken seriously. Between the two main contenders, the People's National Union and the Orange Democratic Movement, because of the lack of confidence in that process, and almost for an independent electoral commission. The same thing. 2010, Ivory Coast, at the point of announcing the results, Obi G. right in front of international media, tore it into smithereens because almost the whole process was rigged. And to Omokuntakwa, all the way to 2011, before Alassane Ouattara or G. Akunyano from Laurent Gbagbo. Recently, Gabon. In fact, before recent election, about to be 2016, and Ali Bongo Bibia offering almost on your 95% of the votes, and guess the turnout. And guess the turnout, 99.9% turned out to vote. And on your 95%. So, and also, let me create, a unique opportunity for a soldier to decide to take matters into their own hands. And you are more people at the international level, at the continental level, even you are more at the very subcontinental level. You are African Union Charter B, your friend democracy, elections, and governance. Okay, and a car assembly. Including the fact that any soldier from the fact that civilian authority rig process through various means and it constitutes constitutional coup. So what I say. And Ambassador Okasem with respect to voter suppression. For example, would ballot materials getting to the voter registration voter suppression because at the point you get fed up, you move away. There were different ways, different almost say mafia, different mafia techniques.
They don't have the patience to stand in the sun. And it's one from morning to evening.
Every day, another issue. So yeah, sure, because we need to have confidence in our process. Unfortunately, I mean, many opinion for our EC, usually if there's an issue, what I do is to try to get in touch with a bit more or more insight to understand what really is going on rather than just, listening to the news and all that, because we'll be our on the agenda. And I can confidently say, sir, some top-ranked people within the EC, they are not happy about the Ecosono. Okay? And there's also emerging information, and maybe Okay, because I wouldn't want to add to the people not having confidence in SAR process. No, but surely within the EC, the interest to deal with SAR issues regarding or more relationship with the political parties. And no, a bit to me reduce SAR tension, no, and get more Ghanaians to trust in the process. I also know, so it poses a serious national security threat because it's quite obvious NDC or trust the MPP or trust the NDC. Okay, so you would need a fair, institution able to conduct without recourse to serve political divisions. And to the Electoral Commission has been one of the most important institutions so far as your democracy is concerned. They played very important role from Afarijan all the way to, Jane Mensah. However, sir, role play, is it enough to get people to believe in it or have confidence or more GDA in it to the extent say they believe they can conduct the election next year without any issues? I think to a large extent, a bit depending on the actions, any inactions of the EC. Because
we share a distance in Nankrofaka can want some say. A big baby, a move because as we speak, there are so many areas from you moving from the Efia Akko. This Kwabena. And only Pano Sabi. Sika Kura the Befaka Crano. A biniho. And you say, yeah, they are Manipa dia. And then why don't we consider those in woman underprivileged for no? Woman can woman nibieno. Omukana case be a more. Say about to me any aqua processing. But say no, woman na ye chu maso or quambiso. Woman ye deprive woman, sir. Omania qua ye be at sa. We are no bit here. I shouldn't be on the ground in the first place.
Of course, when him say, a bimo be brave, Ghana, and not pa, Bibia umbidi is a problem. Because according to World Bank, last year, say, because of certain issues, close to 1 million Ghanaians are here for. Even the president has considered, say, your economic challenges. So easy. If I tell you on daily basis, calls messages. Just because we were TV, we were maybe after program we just come up my fuel. Easy, minia. So how do you expect to say Sika or the Ijani would use that one to pick a vehicle to go, register? And then I see Electoral Commission, they should listen to those other voices. So what I say, and the fact that court bailiff, and I hear bailiff now say, would go to Electoral Commission now. So I think it's just a simple case of lawlessness. It's not right. Okay, more counsel. Then let it play out in a competent court of jurisdiction. The same way, Musi, they will not be part of it because it was court. The same thing must happen on this occasion. Because Usha, to be honest, I don't want to talk with, with political experience liaised in it, but NDC almost case, man. Let's take the registration to the doorsteps of the people. At least make it convenient enough for people to register. But if you make it inconvenient, a bit amounted to voter suppression.
The entire maybe sir, I make Mammy J. Mensah say some time back, she complained about this same treatment.
She advised.
She advised. Okay, more or less advice on whatever it is. I didn't say
he advised against what? He advised against what?
Sadia no mo yise mo be no wo mo antremu a ebe ha adwene enti mo nye no obi anya accessible to the people na mo no obi anso ntumi nya kwan enkotwere din bi enti anokra na mo twere ni about 600,000 yisi ne sa bre no age ne susuye no atumu ama mo ye ne sa ama boy adenti na wo aka some time back no say wo na ye leader wo da ina no okra wo de no anke so ye man bro de bribi abesin ko bi ya o kasa de fam
because every legacy now
now we different enti no that's not
the only issue at stake. Is that correct? That's not the only issue at stake.
But that one share second story to me come the third issue.
Is that correct?
Yes, your excellency.
At the time man the main son
11
all complaining na Aferijan na Charlotte say we operate 6,000 registration centers. 6,000 registration centers. Yet the minister was what advising the one for being come.
This is a question but additional 25
6,000 we reduced about 247 when the numbers have grown up. See, the say Etsiha naked the NDC is complaining about everything against every institution. The truth of the matter is that this election and registration way, all the political parties together went to court. So it's not the case of NDC and NPP.
All 5.
With the exception of NPP.
With the exception of NPP.
No, but you have 18. How many political parties? About 18 or so. You have 18 political parties. So if it's only 5 and 1 person,
political party, we don't also want Dansuman.
Others are
abstaining. What's our Dansuman?
But still, it's a political party.
How is it a political? Okay, all right. Don't take my point argument from me. Agya Kwabena.
Your Excellency.
Since I he. The Chief Justice, your service processor, what's the way to come? Well, best serve.
We talk about that.
Yisi. Okay, UCC, I won't take it. For me as a lawyer, if I have a contempt application, how do I depart from this precedence? How do I depart from this precedence? Because if I have a critical case during the vacation, then the case has to be heard at the Supreme Court. Young complain when we don't, unlike the NPP who say that they have interest, we often speak for the general good of the people. So after the bet na kede, say no nkrofo wo fi aye enkanfo na ayi kegebi abura na agen. Did the wa Jubilee school san wa register kakumdo san wa register osawala. Let me clear.
He has a district office in the north.
Let me. So you think if you think it's okay, take it. Alfred, have you read the presidential oath? The president swears to defend the Constitution, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The right of the youth, Kwabena, the right of the youth to be registered and to vote, is it not in the Constitution? Why is the president quiet? Especially when he knows that, like Adip is saying, election results not troubles about or many people.
Being a president, he knows there are challenges. Also, the country is in a mess.
Okay, yes, well, yeah, 9 minutes per year. Yes, the crisis almost about 25 additional constituencies. Yes, say, maybe it's an no.
You see,
are we ready for that?
You see, that more back no year. 25 more constituencies. It means that we are going to have 25 more MPs.
300.
300 MPs.
300 MPs for a population of 33 million.
That's nonsense.
Do they think about the cost of administering this small country? Does he think about it?
Is it easier now? Is the constitution that they derive this from?
Oh, man. The constitution says the application must be.
I remember in 2012, I fought this thing with Afarijan. No, catch him say Cape Coast was not going to be divided. That time, everything was showing say I was going to win Cape Coast. But one thing Afarijan told me was that, listen, they are not going to divide it. And if the government of the day is pushing for that, time they say divided about 20 something. If they push for the full 23 now, then you move it to 35 because there are other places that should be divided. A place like Cape Coast North and South, what compared to Ayawaso West Wogon, what compared to Kwabena, we are nowhere close in population and land size near there. But they didn't divide those places; they divided that place.
And what did he say?
So can I finish my Alfred? The two of us, including all of you, should be concerned about the country more than our political parties. Do you agree with me?
Yes, we do.
We agree, but you speak for your party more than Ghana.
When the cost of administering a country, to the extent there, we have to borrow even to pay our workers. We have to borrow to pay our workers. Today, the whole economy of Ghana is dependent on a goodwill of $3 billion. $3 billion. Say it's a money na AABB dama or the FADN. Not because Afarijan this, no. Say, India. What is your population?
It's
1.4 billion.
1.4 billion.
1.4 billion. Check their number of ministers and the number of members of parliament. US, New York, any population. I've heard. We don't just have to go there. I do not think that the Electoral Commission will serve us any good by increasing the population. Alfred said something very useful. National identification, NIA. The purpose of it, even though we misfired in the beginning, the purpose of it is to centralize all databases. SNIT for one biometric, police for one day, DVLE or one day. It takes just one instruction there. Please synchronize all the databases. Okay? So Alfred will have something at the SNIT. You will have something at SNIT. Adif will have something at SNIT. So if we synchronize all these things now, I do not have to go and queue for the card. Because they will print the cards, send it to my district, and I'll be asked to go and thumbprint and pick it. So India will use the answer and 1.4 billion for better manage one. Then now politics are based there. Nothing good is coming out of it. I have heard
so far something good has come, but we still work.
Okay.
I have heard the fight between
Excellency, so overflow and pedo.
Last point.
Last point. 5 minutes. Okay. All that's it. Thompson, na me can say be say Abribia ne yɛte sɛ woyɛ yɛmfa ne sɛ yɛte yɛ yɛ nyina mɛma you chop money but say bia time a ho akyerɛ wo na sɛ me scarce or to aduama nkwada adi no wo say me hu pizza bi na akɔgye pizza no na de ko for me why wo nim sɛ sika so no better aduama nkwada no until you channel the sika no sɛ bebe ya nkwada no be di ame wo nya sika na sɛ boro so na obeto pizza na wato no wadi there you see you say yekoko another 25 constituencies. Are you ready? So mine.
I'll touch on this point about the Chief Justice Nukwentun. Then I quickly end with the ECA.
And about 2.5 minutes.
2.5 minutes. I'll do it within even 1.5. Okay. Sometimes, and that is why I said that NDC more year BBA, more year two political, more be political.
Oh.
We know say when they were going for this particular AE at the court, no, the court were on legal vacation. That day, the Chief Justice was in Cape Coast, launching the start of the legal vacation, and that was when the president even responded to Ura Mahamani Adeyewo. So, if they bring such a thing, and there is the agency to AR, then she will look at all the other justices or Supreme Court. And look for one that if your own two coin and now bet to me negotiate. So can you even extend your A for a day or two before? And that is what they do before you can even panel someone to sit down and look at your case for you. But to say in a yes only haunted, there was no one.
But there was the text message received.
But still, let us put things in the right context. If there are challenges, she should come out and say that, oh, there were challenges. This and this is the issue. Now, you went to push them, and now they're giving you October then. As much as it might not be good, you push them to do that. They've done it for you because they're on vacation. And all you have to do is that, oh, Chief Justice, you're on vacation, but this is an agent here. It's a how can we all look at it for the interest of the nation? It could have been done easily. But you see, because in a Chief Justice said to Kwai, in a way, John, you will be to me here, and so the clerk of the court or the what do you call the registrar of the court, no. You wanted to push him to give a date. So as a man can to buttress all the points and say sometimes the way we act upon things and the way we also bring and accuse people will give you the chance for other people to react.
Okay.
It is sometimes even easy reaction, from the way you attack the person. Wow. Sometimes you put the things bare and leave it for the general public to now discuss and deal with it. Then you, as a political party, will not be seen as always attacking.
But the stakeholders
on the 25
new constituencies.
I know it's a constitutional thing, but because it costs to the nation. Yeah. And at the moment, as much as yes, you want to run things well, me feel imposed. Sometimes when you look at Obi constituency, or kita Grofo, maybe 5,000 and or the MP now be there kita be 100 and something. So all these things are challenges that we should sit down as a nation and ask ourselves, where do we want to get to? How do we get to that point? What are the parameters we should put in place to get to that point and start addressing some of these issues? Because at the end of it all, it's an unfair situation where you have one MP who no constituency and then the polling station and then the electoral area to me the whole constituency near there. And it becomes a problem. Let's look at the interest of the nation and let us work towards the interest of the nation. That is our end.
I think 1 minute.
Almost see, democracy is expensive. A bit more are willing to spend millions of dollars because of per se on your MP. So sometimes I would see, being an MP is not easy now. So if you see the caliber of people and what they would do to enter, then surely BB won't. So I say, and it's a lot of cost to the nation. Usha servicing MPs or more car, or more fuel, committee meetings, travel. So it's just too much. Even 275, too much. A population of about 31 million, baby. So because already our home trade. We know what we're going through. You call IMF bailouts, public debt was through, and we are having challenges even paying workers, government workers. So you can form new constituencies. I think a bit to me a complicated situation. No, but before I call, Maminchia Pastor Richard Kwame Juwono, Onu na oye CEO of Youth Africa, Youth Platform for Africa. Or see who you are there, or describe who as a genuine journalist. So keep up the good work.
Pastor Medase, Papa.
Wilkinson, messages are me. Oh, you are asking me where's Wilkinson?
Wilkinson, 10 kakra. 10 kakra. Anti, Yakopon Yadoma, Yabetenenka, by next week, you know, Wilkinson Baba. Anti, me first, I will never be your fussy. Many are with you. Many are with you. Anti, many are with you. Macaminia Panu, but the word me didn't mean Pekra, Alfred Kojo Thompson. And can know ye quantum penny at NIB Bank and on I say no Ufi and so or can MPP communication team no. And if I did sign so you come back on someone else be papa and he says Santiago so or no so a beboyen. None pay ye de asida ma Dominion herbal powder. Say bomode na sanka bi say do no mu de message so bi sanka bi mesre wa bomode me ni bi wa ha as we speak but next week me try some di bi beba it's very very good bomode ya wa makro me bro
ko to do
and the winner powder no bomode na sanka bi eboa papa no pa wonu teacup no so share na de 1 teacup teaspoon egum wanum no wanum ansa na wadidi anyumire so didi wi na koda na waye wo de num sa to aso na hwe within 2-3 weeks no your sister no be sakura oba ofa yefunu monum oba makora no fonsu monum akoda nya fedumi no so monum edin no eye Dominion herbal powder Vodafone some country said with just 5 Ghana cedis no obetu nya 200 minutes akasa 7 days to all networks o mekra the abeya ne say obedale *110# da ona woko no na fiye da sedan so amaba herbal hospital say womo asu ya sene na womo hwe no mpemu yarewa nyina no womo etu so sa ede amayen bomadian na for ni kire kuma say atonso ago hospital na chipe ho na ba herbal hospital wo na fi community 18 junction hospital so okwa obehu womo womo enebo na nra ma me fasida emma me ka na urumai ya share wo na me de ma adwumeko just enough connection ya behind Gamanche Palace. Oh, come on. Omo makana ye mono. Which of your guys? Bakupe na mo. Oh, bakupe no kra 2005 model. I say na say say not here.
Maybe o pese o ma o.
Ni no man ba ko no so be ma me. Na wo makana ye mono prekupe. Just behind the Gamanche Palace a war North Connection here.
Which part? Filling station.
Filling station no. One say filling station. Ufa filling station the right say na
hotel
before we do hotel no car left before we do obubu cafe no left o mama kana e kama nti obi amfa ne kan ko na mo ko here
ho no mo nidi
din na me refi kakra dabi nice shop gate down no and me come trust say be can no
seriously because of the electronic nature of vehicles is that one from coffee tafito
dabi na me be say to the ufi say be ufi here kwa filling station say 2 answer about cross no far right say ya na omo wo left side so
the kwa ngase ja Kwabena say amra
momra ko mo ka ho enti ye de be sia na mada production team no so aseda mu no no pedi make kan say hwe wo mo kasa nyina no ni nyina girade ba ko say gidie se institution ye wo gidie wo mu a how bi amma wo de obi abeka wo de ka de apebia but essence ye g institution ni dinti no obi anim say Samaria Mary medikan enti mu meye mmobode say ye be ma institutions no gidie beba mu kakra ne ba ne se beboa ama so dwatumi aba medin ade Agya Kwabena ye Nyankopon ye ho aye adomo a da se ne ye be senhia kramo ama mu nyina mo ene hwe